Arrowheads, welcome back to Queen Consolidated, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things related to Arrow over on the CW. I'm Phil, and joining me as always is Lilith.
Hey guys, like that? Somebody else doing the intro for a change? I know I do. I can get used to this.
I'll do it as often as you want, but I'm sure we'll get mail that says, no, put the pretty girl voice on first again.
So up for discussion today is part 3 of Quiver. This one is entitled The Old Man in the Sea, and I always get a chuckle out of that title. I don't know why. Don't really see Hemingway when you talk about anything Green Arrow, just saying.
Yeah.
Although they both had beards, so there's that.
Is it like a play on words? Is Kevin Smith calling Oliver the old man?
Basically. Hopefully Mia isn't the sea.
No, I think that's the whole Black Manta fight.
Yeah. But then again, he can be pretty juvenile with his humor, so.
No.
Anyway, so let's see. Of course, Kevin Smith wrote this. We had Phil Hester doing the pencils. Andy Parks did the ink. And Guy Majors was the colorist on this one, with Sean Cano doing the letters. So yeah. Let's see. So we get our first appearance of Star City Youth Center.
Mm-hmm.
And Coast City gets a mention. And trick arrows are now back in play. Those are all things to get excited about for this particular story.
Oh yeah, it was Kevin Smith. You knew the trick arrows were coming back.
And I love that we bring up Power Traveling Heroes in this one.
Oh yeah, that's like just about everyone's favorite story, and I guess that's kind of where Oliver's memory leaves off a little bit after that.
Yeah, I like how he finally sees the date, and he's like, wait a minute, what?
I know.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. But I also want to say that this is what reminded me of season 1 of Arrow, where he calls Mia Speedy, and she's like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, that's not foreshadowing. I don't know what is. Hopefully she'll have a better temperament than Roy.
I just love how she is all over Oliver. She's like, what is this about when he says, oh, Green Arrow told me you'd be stopping by. She's like, Green Arrow. She's like, what are you talking about? It's you. She's like, how many other guys have that goatee? Come on.
No, she's like, no, this is literally my favorite quote in the whole dang issue. It's like, oh, please, I'm not a total idiot. That little mask you wear doesn't exactly Batman your face. And the beard, that's a dead giveaway too. I'm like, I like you, Mia. I hope you stick around. And she did.
And she's like, you don't even change your voice.
That comes later on Smallville. About 4 years from now, actually. So yeah. Let's see. So basically, we start off with this one with Green Arrow breaking into the office of the Star City comptroller. And I was really good in civics class, but I still don't remember what a comptroller does. Do you know?
No. The title's familiar, but yeah.
Harold, the dude is Harold Leeds. He demands to know why Leeds authorized the closure of Star City Youth Center. And he's like, yeah, we gotta safeguard the orphans from that Star Slayer serial killer, the one that's murdering children. Mm-hmm. Have children congregated. You see the snatch place. Just kind of a little bit of common sense there. And then Oliver wants to talk to Commissioner Elmer Durden, and then he's like, yeah, that dude died years ago. And then that's when it really starts clicking. I was like, what? Okay, things aren't the way that I remember it. How long was I on this bender? And then we see Stanley Dover buying the Star City Youth Center, and then his first employee, of course, is Mia, and that's when she tells him she knows he's Green Arrow, and then she asks Oliver for a place to stay, and I'm just like, she still is kind of technically underage. I don't know how I feel about this. I was like, I hope this doesn't turn into some creepy Bat-Babs. Please don't let that happen.
I guess she felt she was safe because she already has figured out he's the Green Arrow, and he did save her from getting raped.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I was so disappointed in Bat-Babs and everything at this point. I just kind of under that filter. So anyway. Then Stanley explains to Mia that Oliver is missing time, and he acts as if the last 10 years of his life never happened. So basically, now we know he has no knowledge of his own death. Thank you, Parallax. Um,
Mm-hmm.
to help Ollie's emotional state, he tries to like retrofit his home with like outdated appliances. How bad would
That should have set off. That should have set off a red flag. Okay, why are you trying to keep this guy from knowing how much time has passed?
creepy guy is creepy. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and the whole memory loss thing, that kind of gets explained in a few issues, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of.
Meanwhile, the two of them enjoy dinner together. That's Mia and the family guy. Green Arrow hits the streets. He manages to bust up a crime ring on the docks, and then suddenly Black Manta rises out of the river, and trailing directly behind him is none other than Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
So you know I was hyped. I was like, "Get hyped! Say what?" Yeah, obviously that's my favorite part of this movie. So yeah.
But
This had enough intrigue, and it's really is like kind of pushing the plot forward a little bit. And you know, we're like, oh, Mia's about to be the sidekick, okay, but we still got to keep our eye on this creepy Stanley.
yeah, we got like classic Oliver in action as the Green Arrow, and of course it's Kevin Smith, so you had to get the Jaws reference. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. He loves that movie.
I like this issue. None of these issues are boring, but some of them, like when we get towards like 6 and 8, feel really fillery. And while this is definitely filler, it still has a lot of good little like hints and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Um yeah. You know what we should do for winter hiatus? We should do Our Traveling Heroes. Oh, but not all of them, obviously, because it's like Green Lantern Volume 2, 77 through 121 through 122. So not all of them, but like
Yeah.
that first beginning arc.
Okay, yeah, because I have some of those issues in a trade.
You
So
know
yeah.
I have them all, so if you need some, you could just
Okay, but yeah, I should have most of them. I think. Yeah.
yeah. So that's our plan for the winter hiatus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some good stuff right there too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and then if you want to like speed ahead, haha, get it. If you want to learn more about the second Speedy, you want to go to Green Arrow Volume 3, and it starts at 45. So those are two things you guys can do some homework on. What else? What did you think of the cover?
Um, I like the cover, just like basically all of them in this arc. I mean, they're great. I mean, you could hang them on the wall. They're like art.
It's like it looks like kind of like it was like a it was like drawn from claymation. I like it. It's got the little it's just like all the nice little touches of what we missed from Green Arrow. So, but that Black Manta, it just looks like the Tick to me.
Yeah, the helmet's kind of not shaped right. I don't know.
But other than that, fantastic cover. So, what was your favorite panel in this one?
Um. Hmm. It's probably in the beginning. It's probably the second page where he put the arrow through the speakerphone, and he's leaning on the wall there saying, "Mind if I play through?" Because the comptroller's like practicing his putting in his office.
Like I said, my favorite panel is when Black Manta's sub starts rising out of the river.
Oh yeah, 'cause you're such an Aquaman groupie.
It's just like it's so cheesy, but in like a good way. That I was just like, aw. So do you have any favorite like lines or quotes or anything from this one? Like I already said mine from Mia because she's like that doesn't Batman your face. So I was just like, yes, somebody
Yeah,
said it.
yeah, that's kind of my favorite part too. Is when she tells him, "Yeah, you're not really fooling anybody, with the same voice and the goatee and that little tiny mask."
Better than grease paint.
So basically, she's just like, yeah, Batman's is bigger."
Poor Oliver. He's always going to be a poor man's Batman. So, what would you give this as a grade?
I think I'm gonna give this probably a B plus.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, because it was good, but I
It's like, let's get the ball rolling. I want to see
yeah,
us beat some other people.
yeah. We don't get to the actual like super villain until like the last like 2 or 3 pages. It's like, oh come on.
This is like, what do you call it? One of those bottle episodes where you kind of see the life behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just right at the end, they get you hyped for the next issue. So yeah, I could totally agree with that. So yeah, if you guys have been reading along with us or have already read Quiver, please be sure to send in your thoughts to queen.consolidated@gmail.com. We would love to read them here on the podcast. And what else? I guess I want to remind you guys to rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcatcher of choice. We're on iTunes, Lisbon, SoundCloud, and now we are in the Google Music store under the podcast section. So if you want to check us out there, all you Android users, you can finally do that. Please be sure to check out SouthgateMediaGroup.com, where you can find a list of our 90 plus and always growing podcasts. We also have blogs that Phil writes a lot of content for. And if you are in a giving, generous mood, you can also easily donate to us to help keep this network afloat. So, looks like it's time for some shameless plugs. And of course, Phil gets to go first.
I will, but before we go, did you see the article today? They released the premiere dates for all the CW shows.
Yeah, it's always going to be the first week of October because they like to release the second night of New York Comic Con. That's kind of like the tradition. But yeah, October 5th, 2016. Saddle up, Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, well, not everything, because I mean we do everything on this feed, but yeah, the Flash is October 4th, Arrow is October 5th, but Supergirl doesn't.
Week,
yeah, that and Legends of Tomorrow both the next week. So.
Well, it makes sense that they would want to do Flash and Arrow so that they can promote Supergirl for the next week.
Yeah.
And they're still their two strongest shows. Like they used to do that with Supernatural and the Vampire Diaries. So now it's Flash and Arrow. As they lead the first week off. So good to see that Arrow's still doing okay over on the CW, despite its last season.
Well, I guess they're getting back to basics next season. They said,
You mean by copying Daredevil? Way to take a Reddit idea, Mark Guggenheim.
Well, basically, yeah. But their whole thing is like, they're little to no superpowers. It's going to be
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Wow, dog. Let's scrape the bottom of the barrel so none of the fans get mad like they did with the Atom and Black Canary. Oh.
Or the Batman villains.
Oh God. Anyway, yeah, I'm actually really excited for season 5 just to see. I mean, you really can't get. I mean, they just kind of left it very open ended, so it's like no big cliffhanger, no driving off into the sunset. So I'm hoping somebody comes back to keep their promises, though. That's all I'm saying. Still time for them to make up with Manu Bennett and make that happen for me. Anyway, so yeah, time for shameless plugs.
All right. Well, as you should know, me and Lilith do many podcasts together. We do this one. We do Worldís Finest, which is on the Before the Bat feed. We do Newcastle Crew, and I also do Marvel podcasts with our friend Mr. Charlie Esser. But you can talk to me anything DC or Marvel, NightwingPDP@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at NightwingPDP. And all my stuff, blogs, podcasts at philparrish.wordpress.com.
As for me, you guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you're on Tumblr, it's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. My website is lilithhellfire.com. And if you're on Instagram and you like doll photography, you can follow me Lilith Hellfire 86. I also usually do my picks of the week for DC, and I might start doing Marvel too. So if you guys are curious about that, I said might. Don't do that. So yeah, read issue 4, or be sure to tune in next week to hear what we have to say about issue 4 of Quiver. And I guess it's time for Phil to take us out of here.
I can do the intro and outro. Okay.
Oh, you want me to do the outro? I can do it.
I don't care. Whatever.
Okay, so it's gonna be it's a hellacious hiatus, I know, but it's okay. At least you're not stuck for 5 years on a hellish island. But we will be back next week. And until then, Queen Consolidated, signing off.